everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you some Dollar Tree DIYs that I think you're really going to enjoy. These are things that you can use in your house year-round that are really pretty. And if you don't have a Dollar Tree, you can substitute other items for it. A lot of stores carry something very similar to these. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I hope you do. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, for this first one, I'm going to use 2 of the hanging baskets from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and unhook my chains off of it, and then I'm going to clip where those little hooks were attached to. I'm going to use these plaques I got at Hobby Lobby. They measure 6 3/4 inches in diameter, and I'm going to use these little wooden rings that measure 2 3/4 inches in diameter. Now my little plaques are a little bit rough, so I am going to take them outside and I am going to sand the edges of them. I'm just using a little palm sander just to kind of get right in there to kind of clean it all up. Next, I'm going to take a dowel stick that measures 1 inch in diameter, and I'm going to cut it at 7.5 inches. And then I'm going to go ahead and stain it with some special walnut paint. Go ahead and stir my stain up. I'm just using a rag to do this, and I'm just going to just rub this on with my finger. And I ended up doing 2 coats on this, but it's just a cotton rag that I'm using, and you can get those at Lowe's in a pretty good size bag. And then I'm going to do the dowel stick, and I'm going to do my rings exactly that same color. Just take some time on this part because you want to make sure that it doesn't streak and you are going in one direction across the front. Next, to attach my ring, I'm going to take some E6000 glue, and I'm putting it on the inside bottom of this little basket. So you're on the inside of it. Then I decided to add a little bit of extra E6000 glue just to make sure it was a little bit more secure. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the opposite basket, and you want to make sure that you let these dry real good so that they do stay together well. And then do the same thing with this one as well. And then we're going to put a little bit of hot glue on this one also, just to kind of make it stay in place until it does dry. After that's completely dry, we're going to put some wood glue down onto our ring all the way around it. And then we are going to put our little plaque right on top of that. And then just set that aside to dry good. You can put some weight on that if you want to. Just put something inside of there to make it weigh down. And then do the same thing with the opposite basket. You're going to put it inside of that one as well. Just make sure that your wood plaques are level. And then go ahead and weight them down. Next, we're going to go ahead and attach the baskets. Go ahead and take your dowel stick and then turn your basket over, and we're going to glue from the bottom. We're going to put our dowel stick on here, just let it set to dry real well, and then we're going to attach the 2 here in a little bit. To secure it a little bit better, we're going to go ahead and take some jute and go ahead and wrap it all the way around there so it touches the dowel rod and it touches the bottom piece of that wood. And go all the way around. We're just going to kind of clean it up a little bit, get the ends of those pieces of metal not showing. So we're going to go around a few times, and then we're going to go ahead and go inside the circle a little bit and cover all that up. This will just make sure that it does stay a little bit more secure, just gives it a little bit more stability. And we're going to secure it to the little, the metal part as well, and that will make sure that it does stay together good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole in the bottom of the other basket because we are going to drill a hole into the dowel stick to make sure it's secure when we get this hooked together. Just go right through there and then go ahead and drill a pilot hole in here, and then we're going to screw it together. Since we have that lip, we don't have to worry about countersinking it, and your screw will not set on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and start my wood screw in through there till I get right up to the top edge of the little platform, and then I'm going to connect the 2 together. After I did that, it did spin a little bit, so I am backing it out a little bit, and I am going to put some wood glue between the dowel stick and that base. That way, once you screw it back together, it will stay in place and it will not spin. So that's how it looks once you get it all put together. And I'm going to use this for a fruit basket. Now where we cut off all the little tabs, I'm going to go back in with some black paint and I'm just going to touch up the top part of those. Yeah, I think this turned out so pretty, so functional. You could put any kind of fruit in it. Bananas would be great in it. Let me know if this is something that you would make for your home. Let me know which one of these is your favorite today. This next one, I'm taking these 2 wire baskets I got at Dollar Tree and I'm going to spray paint them with Krylon metallic dark copper paint. Next, I got these little bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut these to fit into the bottom of my basket. Now, I did cut mine a little bit short, so you do want to go past those 2 side rails a little bit because it's a little bit bigger inside once you get it in. And I'm using a speed square just to mark my marks so I can cut them with a saw. And I'm using the inside of the bamboo so that it is square. And then I'm going to attach it with some E6000 glue, just put it onto the rails. And then I'm going to secure it here a little bit better in a little bit, but just go ahead and put the E6000 glue first. And then once you put your bamboo thing in there, go ahead and kind of set it up off the table a little bit because you don't want the glue to ooze down underneath it. And I am going to use a little bit of hot glue too, just to secure it in place while it dries. I'm doing 2 of these, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my other basket. And then once you get your piece of wood in there, you want to lift it up off the table to make sure that it is not stuck. And then clean any excess glue off the bottom. Go ahead and put something with weight to hold it in place while it dries. To add some legs to them, I got these little legs on Amazon. I'll give you the link, and I'm going to spray paint them with this same paint. Next, just to make sure it's a little bit more secure, I'm just taking these 2 little vinyl pieces that I had, just 2 little strips of vinyl, and I'm going to glue these to the bottom just to hold it together so that that wood does stay inside there. Just gives it a little bit more security and you don't see it from the underneath. And then add another strip right next to that one. And then I did that on both of my baskets. Okay, next to give this kind of a vintage locker look, I got these little numbers from Tim Holtz. I'll give you the link for those, and I'm going to attach them to my basket. And they come with these little brads, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick them through there and then open them up. I am going to attach a little bit of hot glue on there as well, and then just wrap those around the little rods. And they stay on real easy this way. And then I'm just going to kind of bend those around there to hold it together. Okay, I'm then doing another number on my other basket. Just kind of gives it a little vintage look. I really like the way these turned out. Okay, now that my legs are dry, I'm going to go ahead and attach them, and I'm going to attach them with some E6000 glue and some hot glue, and I'm just going to put one in each corner of these baskets, and I'm going to do both these exactly the same way. It just really dresses it up a lot. And you can style these so many different ways. I'm going to put some plants and a candle in mine, but you could do anything you wanted to with these. I mean, they're just cute little baskets. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, I love the way that these little baskets turned out. You could use these for so many things. They're just so functional. Let me know what you think in the comments and let me know which one is your favorite today. These are all super easy to make and very inexpensive. This last one, I got these little medallion looking things at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the jute and the beads off of these, and then I'll save those for something else. And I'm using 4 of these in this project. And they have these in white and they have these in black. Next, I got these little 5" by 5" picture frames at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and take them apart. And I'm going to go ahead and take the glass out, remove the paper, and then I'm going to glue them together. And I'm going to use 4 of these. Okay, and you want to go ahead and take your glass out and clean it real well because we are going to spray paint this, and you want to make sure that you don't have any residue on these. And I'm just going to clean mine with rubbing alcohol. Okay, next I'm going to attach these together with hot glue. So just go ahead and put some hot glue right in the center. It doesn't matter if it's perfect because you're not going to see it once we paint it. But go ahead and make sure that you do get it lined up good. And then go ahead and stick it right down inside of the little frame. Now, if you don't get it lined up good, like I didn't on one of them, I'll show you a quick way to get it lined up to where you don't have to worry about it. This one here, I did not have it lined up and it would not go down into my frame. Okay, all you gotta do is just grab your heat source and then start heating it up until that glue melts enough to where you can move it around. It'll get soft enough to where you can move it around, and I was able to get it right back where I needed it to be. Okay, next to join these together, we're going to put the 2 sides together with the openings and we're going to glue those together. That way the glass will not slide out and you'll have a nice finished edge all the way around your tray. And we're going to hook these together with E6000 glue as well as hot glue. And you don't want to skip on this step, but go ahead and put a little bit down inside that groove as well. And that way that'll keep that glass from sliding around. But you want to make sure that you get these lined up really good because you want to make sure that it is square once we're finished. But that way that glass won't slide out of there, and just kind of squeeze them as tight as you can get them. And we're going to cover the top part of it up, so don't worry so much about it being perfect, but you do want to get the excess glue off of it. And then we're going to glue the other 2 together as well, just like that one, and then we're going to glue them all together in a minute. You just want to make sure that you do get them lined up good. And then we'll go ahead and glue the 2 sides together. So I got these little bamboo trim pieces on Amazon, and I'm just going to mark right down at the bottom, and I'm going to cut these with a miter cutter. And then I'm going to take the other side of it, and I'm going to put it on the side, and then I'm going to cut another one to length to go on the other side. So you want to cut another one exactly that same length. And then we're just going to glue these across the front part. This will kind of just cover up the little seam there. And I'm just going to hot glue these right to the center. Just kind of make sure that you do get it lined up good once you put it on there. And then go ahead and add your 2 side pieces. And then I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to spray paint the entire thing with the oil rub bronze paint. Next, I'm going to use the Folk Art chalk paint in the Adirondack white. and I'm just going to pour it onto my work surface here. And then I'm going to take a paper towel and a chip brush, and I'm going to distress this. So you want to dip it into the paint and then to brush off most of the white, and then go ahead and start distressing it. Now I'm going to distress the entire thing, the inside of each one of those squares, as well as the outside and the sides. And I'm going to kind of go fast while I'm doing this. You can kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm not going to just go slow, let you watch paint dry. So I'm going to do the same thing with the little medallions. I'm just going to kind of go over the raised edges a little bit on all 4 of them. And then I'm also going to do the sides as well. I'm just going to kind of distress the sides a little bit. And if you get too much paint on it and you're not happy with it, you can just spritz it with some water and wipe off some of that. And then I'm just going to lightly do the sides. Okay, and one of mine looked a little bit heavier than the other, so I did go ahead and take some water, spray it, and then I'm just going to wipe off some of the excess to kind of blend them together, because I do want them all to match. Now that all my pieces have dried, I'm going to start assembling them, and I'm just going to line these up right into the center of each one of these squares. And then I'm going to use E6000 glue as well as hot glue so that it is permanent. And just kind of eyeball it as you're doing it. Next, I got these little 1-inch doll heads, and I'm going to paint them with a black metallic paint. Now, all this is just a round bead with the bottom of it flat, and you can get those at Hobby Lobby, or even Michael's has them. And I'm using 4 of them, and these are going to be for the legs. And I end up having to put 2 coats of the black on them. Okay, now those are dry. I'm going to attach them with some E6000 glue and some hot glue, and I'm just going to put 1 in each corner. Now don't worry about what the bottom looks like right now. We are going to finish it out here in a little bit, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to take this piece of chipboard to cover the back. I tried to paint the back of mine with a paintbrush, but it wasn't working out very well. So just go ahead and measure it exactly so that you can cover up both the bottom and the top part, and you just have a perfect square to go around them. Now we're going to cut out the corners here in a minute too, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to grab my paper cutter. I'm just going to cut my paper out, and then I'm going to cut some little triangles out of the side to go over where those little legs were. Then I'm just going to hot glue it right down the center, and then I'll go ahead and do my sides here in a minute. So get your centers done, and then you can come back and do the sides after you get it glued in. Just lift up each ledge and just go ahead and glue that down. Just go all the way around and get it glued down. It's just kind of nicely finished it out. If somebody wanted to pick up your tray and turn it over, it is a finished product. And you could use, you could actually use a cereal box if you wanted to, just any kind of cardboard. This is like a stiff chipboard that you get it on Amazon. Silhouette is a brand that makes it, but it's just a thicker cardboard is what it is. And that was pretty much it. That was a pretty easy project. I absolutely love the way that this tray turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it.